In a world where scams are becoming increasingly sophisticated, knowing how to spot them before they happen is an essential life skill. Scams can target anyone from the tech-savvy to the unsuspecting, exploiting trust and ignorance for financial gain. Hi everyone! Today we'll explore real-life stories of scams, some infamous, some lesser known, and draw lessons that can help you stay ahead of the scammers. From email phishing schemes to elaborate Ponzi operations, this guide will arm you with the tools to protect yourself and your loved ones. Let's get started. To spot a scam, it's crucial to understand how they work. Most scams share common elements. Emotional manipulation. Scammers play on emotions like fear, greed, or urgency to pressure their targets into making quick decisions. Fear of losing money or missing out on a golden opportunity often clouds judgment. Too good to be true. Promises offers that sound too good to be true usually are. Whether it's a promise of guaranteed returns or a once-in-a-lifetime deal, skepticism is your best defense. Exploitation of trust. Many scams rely on impersonation or the exploitation of authority figures to gain trust. Think fake IRS calls or emails from your bank. These elements combine to create a sense of urgency and confusion, making it easier for scammers to exploit their victims. Recognizing these patterns can be your first line of defense against falling prey. Scams also often involve a false sense of exclusivity or secrecy. Phrases like, "act now" or "keep this opportunity confidential" are used to disarm victims and discourage them from seeking second opinions. Understanding these tactics can empower individuals to resist manipulation. Phishing scams are one of the most common and dangerous forms of fraud. These scams often involve emails, text messages, or phone calls designed to trick you into revealing personal information like passwords or credit card numbers. True story. In 2020, a major phishing scam targeted employees of a tech company. The scammer sent emails posing as the company's HR department, claiming there was an urgent issue with payroll. The email contained a link to a fake login page, and employees who entered their credentials unknowingly handed them over to the scammer. The result? Stolen identities and financial losses. Phishing attacks are not limited to businesses. Individual consumers are often targeted with messages appearing to be from well-known companies like Amazon, PayPal, or their bank. Scammers request sensitive information under the guise of verifying accounts or resolving security issues. Another variation is spear phishing, where scammers tailor their messages to specific individuals or organizations, using personal details to make their communications more convincing. Phishing has also evolved into sophisticated schemes involving fake websites and cloned pages that look identical to legitimate platforms. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, scammers created fake vaccine registration sites to steal personal and financial information from unsuspecting users. Lesson: always verify the sender's identity before clicking on links or providing information. Check email addresses carefully for slight misspellings or odd domains. If in doubt, contact the organization directly through official channels. Enable two-factor authentication on sensitive accounts to add an extra layer of security. Never rush to act on an email or message without verifying its authenticity. Ponzi schemes lure investors with promises of high returns with little to no risk. Early investors are paid with the money from newer ones, creating the illusion of profitability. These schemes collapse when the scammer can no longer recruit new investors. True story. Bernie Madoff's infamous Ponzi scheme defrauded investors of over $65 billion. Madoff leveraged his reputation and connections to gain trust, promising consistent returns regardless of market conditions. Many of his victims were seasoned investors who let their guard down due to Madoff's credibility. Smaller Ponzi schemes are also prevalent. In 2017, a local businessman in Texas convinced neighbors to invest in his real estate venture, promising 30% annual returns. When the scheme unraveled, dozens of families lost their life savings. Ponzi schemes often rely on exclusivity, convincing victims that they are part of an elite group with access to special opportunities. This perceived exclusivity can cloud judgment and discourage due diligence. In some cases, Ponzi schemes overlap with pyramid schemes, where participants are encouraged to recruit others to earn returns. These schemes thrive on the promise of quick wealth but inevitably collapse, leaving later participants with significant losses. Lesson: beware of investment opportunities that promise guaranteed returns. Do your due diligence by researching the company, understanding the business model, and verifying regulatory compliance. Diversify your investments to minimize risk. A legitimate investment will withstand scrutiny and provide clear, verifiable information. Be cautious of ventures that discourage external opinions or questions. Romance scams prey on the vulnerable by building emotional connections online. Scammers often create fake profiles on dating apps or social media to manipulate their targets into sending money. True story. In 2021, a widow in her 60s fell victim to a romance scam. She met a man online who claimed to be a successful engineer working abroad. After weeks of sweet messages and promises of a future together, he asked for money to handle an emergency. Over the course of 6 months, she sent him $40,000 only to discover he was a scammer using a stolen identity. Romance scams don't just affect older adults. Younger individuals, particularly those new to online dating, are often targeted. Scammers may use flattery and consistent communication to establish trust before making financial requests. Another variation involves scammers claiming they need money for travel expenses to meet in person, only to disappear once funds are transferred. Some scammers also exploit victims for more than money. In cases of sextortion, they obtain compromising images or videos and threaten to release them unless paid. Lesson: be cautious about sharing personal details or sending money to someone you've never met in person. Conduct reverse image searches on profile photos and look for inconsistencies in their stories. Trust your instincts. If a relationship progresses too quickly or involves financial requests, it's a red flag. Maintain healthy skepticism, especially when dealing with someone reluctant to video chat or meet in person. Impersonation scams involve scammers pretending to be someone in a position of authority, such as a government official or a bank representative. These scams often rely on fear and urgency. True story. A college student received a call from someone claiming to be from the IRS, stating that she owed back taxes and would be arrested if she didn't pay immediately. Panicked, she wired $5,000 before realizing it was a scam. Scammers also impersonate law enforcement, utility companies, and even family members. In one case, a grandmother received a call from someone claiming to be her grandson, who said he was in jail and needed bail money. Desperate to help, she wired thousands of dollars before realizing it was a scam. These scams often escalate by insisting on secrecy or urgency, discouraging victims from consulting others before acting. With advances in technology, scammers now use deepfake audio or video to impersonate voices or appearances, making their claims even more convincing. Lesson: legitimate organizations will never demand immediate payment over the phone or threaten you with arrest. Hang up and contact the organization directly using their official contact information. Verify stories with other trusted sources before taking action. Be wary of calls requesting payment via gift cards or wire transfers, as these are common scam tactics. Now that we've explored the stories, here are actionable steps to safeguard yourself. 1. Educate yourself. Stay informed about common scams and how they operate. Awareness is your first line of defense. 2. Verify before you trust. Always double-check the identity of individuals or organizations before sharing information or making payments. 3. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA. Protect your online accounts by enabling 2FA, which adds an extra layer of security. 4. Monitor your finances. Regularly review your bank statements and credit reports for suspicious activity. Set up alerts for unusual transactions. 5. Report scams. If you suspect a scam, report it to the appropriate authorities such as the FTC or your local consumer protection agency. Many scams rely on operating in the shadows, and reporting them can help protect others. 6. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Take a step back and reassess the situation. Scammers often rely on pressuring you to act quickly. Slowing down can save you from costly mistakes. Scams thrive on fear, greed, and trust, but with the right knowledge and vigilance, you can stay one step ahead. By learning from true stories and applying practical tips, you can protect yourself and others from falling victim. Thanks for watching, everyone. Share your experiences with scams in the comments. Your story could help someone else avoid becoming a victim. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights into navigating life's challenges. See you in the next video.